The aim is to determine what the background emissions of methane are from this area where there's a lot of coal seam gas activity at the moment. The gas production in this region is likely to increase over the next few years significantly, so it's important to establish what the emissions are naturally and from other industries as well, so that you can determine what the effect of the CSG industry is on the greenhouse emissions from the area. Well, the primary method is using an airborne sensor, but we're also doing ground-based surveys to calibrate and validate that instrument's data. So it's taking a sample every few seconds. So we're driving along with a sensitive methane analyzer in our vehicle, and we're comparing the methane concentrations we measure on the ground with those we measure from the air. And you can see the numbers updating on the screen there. Today we're trialling a new technology for looking at natural methane emissions from the ground. The purpose of it is to try and identify these seeps over a broad area fairly quickly. It's part of a larger project where we're looking at natural methane emissions across the Surat Basin to establish a baseline in the CSG fields.
The coal seam gas wells are spread across the Surat Basin. What we're trialling today is a remote sensing technique which will provide us with a spatially comprehensive picture of the seepage level and allow us to be able to understand or identify areas where the seepages are. The traditional method of actually monitoring the seepages is actually point measurement, and for a very extensive area like the Surat Basin where we need to understand what the overall measurement is, we are not able to provide enough of this point measurement to cover it, and that's why we are actually using this remote sensing technique.
Well, the work that we're doing today is largely about detecting methane sources, but it's also very important to be able to measure how fast that methane is being emitted. So the other component of this project is aimed at establishing 2 fixed monitoring sites throughout the Surat Basin where they'll measure atmospheric concentrations of methane for up to 12 months or more, and that will give us the information we need to calculate how fast the methane is being emitted from the region.